Hi everybody, this is KC with Traditions Leathercraft. I'm going to show you guys how to do this real popular gunsling stitcher pattern on a suede belt. This particular sample I used our Diamond Fenice Fuchsia water stain and dyed just a natural veg tan 12-ounce belt and then stitched the gunslinger pattern on. But on today's video I'm going to show you how to do it with one of our live oak belt blanks and a piece of split cowhide. Real quick, some of the things we're going to use in the video is our gunslinger stitch pattern, which comes in 3 different belt widths, and our belt-in template. I'll explain how to use these when we get into the video. So thanks for joining us. Tag along and we'll show you how to make one of these awesome belts. All right, guys, first step I did is I took my 1.5" live oak belt blank and my suede split here, and I've applied glue to most of it. There's a couple of different kinds of contact cement we can ship. There's the Aquilium 315, which if you've ever tried this is as strong as any contact cement on the market. And there's the SOC EverTac. These are both non-flammable. There's no fumes, nothing's going to hurt you. It's just a clear white glue and they are super sticky. So I'm using one of our glue spreaders here. I'm just going to continue spreading the glue on my suede split, and when we come back I'm going to go ahead and stick down both pieces and get them trimmed up. All right, now that the glue's had time to get clear and kind of get tacky, what you want to do is take your belt. I'm going to make sure I have the smooth side to the clothing, so I'm going to glue down my rough side here. I always like to cut these suede splits a little bit wider than they need to be so you can get it on there nice and evenly. Just going to go along and glue that down real good. You got to be careful not to let any part of that belt stick before you're ready for it to stick, because once it sticks on there with that Aquilium 315, it is permanent. So now that I've got that on there, I'm going to pause and answer my phone. All right, guys, now that I got that glued down and it's set up real good, I'm going to take one of our easy grip rotary cutters and trim off the extra split cowhide here. I'm just going to use the belt as my ruler along this edge as I trim, and just be very careful. Go right along here and we'll trim that off, and when I come back we'll mark the belt in and the gunslinger stitch pattern, and then we'll show you how to stitch that up. All right, now that I've got that trimmed off there, you can see now this is what the front of the belt will look like, and the smooth side is on the inside. It's easier to trace your pattern on the inside of the belt because it's hard to get anything to show up on this side without using ink. So I'm going to take my belt-in template, line it up here on the end, and mark these holes. And then we'll get this punched. Make sure I can see all those. I can. I'm going to take in the gunslinger stitch template pack, it comes with 3 sizes. You've got one in here for doing an 1.25" belt, one for doing an 1.75" belt, and then obviously we're going to be using the 1.5". So what we're going to do is we're going to line this up on here. There's a dotted line at the bottom of the gunslinger stitch pattern. What I'm going to do is going to line that dotted line up along the edge of the belt. I'm going to take my pencil. Just be careful the template doesn't move. And mark one row like that. Then I'm going to line up my template again. Make sure that dotted line's right along the edge of the belt. And mark another row. Another line there. I'll continue this all the way down. When I get done with this, I'll flip the belt over and show you how to line it up on the other side of the belt. Okay, guys, now we're going to take from the billet end, the side that's going to get the sizing holes punched in it, we're going to take this first point, and on the template, it's hard to see on the video, there's a dotted line that goes right up to this middle point. We're going to line that dotted line up with that point that we traced earlier. Make sure the dotted lines on the bottom of the template are there, and then we're going to go ahead and trace this, and this is what's going to give you that real nice diamond point right there in the center. Make sure that doesn't move on you. And it'll be like that. I'm going to continue this all the way down the belt, and when I come back, I'll show you what I did on the end. Okay guys, so this is where I ended my gunslinger stitch pattern right here, and I stopped about a 1/4 inch away from the border. So I've already done it on this side. Then I took my wing dividers and I measured that distance, which is about a 1/4 in, and I've got the tapered blunt end that's real popular right now cut on here already. Now I'm just going to take my wing dividers and finish this line right up here to where my gunslinger stitch pattern stopped. So the next thing we're ready to do is go ahead and move over to the sewing machine and get this sewn. All right guys, so off camera I went ahead and punched the buckle end holes, and now I've got my stitch line marked. I'm going to start on the buckle end here and go ahead and just do a couple of back stitches. And because I'm old and I can't see as good, I went ahead and marked it on the veg tan side. I made sure my tension was good on my machine, so when I flip it over, the stitching will look good. But now I'm just going to go along here real slow and follow my pencil mark and get this all stitched up. So I'll get this first half of it done. We'll cut away and come back, and then you can watch me do the other half of the video. Now I'm going to go around this blunt tip. This is where I use my wing dividers to draw this nice straight border. Okay, now I'm coming back around, and I'm going to show you the most critical part here when you're stitching this is to make sure these points line up good. Just go nice and slow. Grab something to point with. Here's my point right here. I'll go ahead and put a dot there for reference on the video. And I'll walk this up here, and if my needle doesn't hit just right and I need to get a partial stitch, I can reposition my foot right here before I put it all the way down on that point and get like a half or a 1/4 stitch right there. But it's real important to make sure them points line up on this. That's what gives it that real nice diamond shape on the gunslinger stitch. I'll try it again here. Coming around, here's my point, my next point. And in this case, it turned out just right. So I hit that point, I can turn, and I'll just continue around. And when we get done, I'll show you what it looks like. All right, guys, just step back away from the sewing machine. You can see I've got it all stitched up here now. If you can see the feed dog lines or your presser foot on the suede side, you can just buff that suede side back up. That's going to come out of there. I wouldn't be too concerned about that. But now I grabbed one of our Weaver edge bevelers. This is in a size 1. I'm going to go ahead and got a good sharp blade in there. I can bevel this suede side, and then I'll flip it over and bevel the smooth side of the belt. And get that slicked down and be just about finished with it. All right, getting close to the end here. Get that done. Now we'll flip it over and we're going to edge bevel the smooth side of the leather. And that'll give us a nice round edge when we go to slick those edges down. You can see there's not too many steps involved in building these. They're very popular, and we're seeing customers sell them for really good profit right now. All right, very last step. Since I'm not going to dye the back of this, I'm going to leave these edges natural. I'm just going to take my Tokonol burnishing solution and get a little bit here and start dabbing it on the belt. Give that just a few seconds to soak in real good. So I usually do about 1 foot to 18 inches at a time. Spread that out on there. Then we'll take our piece of canvas and we'll just start burnishing that. Give that a real nice finish, smooth rolled edge. Oh yeah, there we go. So now I'll continue doing that around the rest of the belt. When I come back, I will have added a buckle to it and show you what the finished product looks like. All right, to wrap it up, I thought I'd show you the final belt. I took one of our Laramie buckle sets and added it to it. And there's what our gunslinger stitch pattern looks like with the crimson red and the cream stitching and the gunslinger stitch pattern. So we hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions on building the belts, always feel free to call us or email us. And you can find all the supplies we used at traditionsleathercraft.com.